Welcome, welcome, welcome. Adriane, your quantum love coach, greeting you from Waiheke Island in New Zealand, outside Auckland in the Haraki Gulf. I'm sitting above an amazing beach and scenery that is undescribable beautiful. But I'm staying inside to make it really safe and comfortable for me to share some quarantine secrets with you, quantum quarantine secrets, as I call them, as quantum love coach. So I want to bring a collection of things and skills and little, life lessons I have learned over time into this mix. I want to share with you things I know from my vibrational medicine practice as Jin-Jin-Jitsu practitioner, of course, and self-help instructor, having taught internationally over the years, and then also as love coach, and really inspiring you from all the sources of my inspiration and my knowledge. So I want to just really start with something incredibly simple today, which comes from the world of Jin-Jin-Jitsu. Jin-Jin-Jitsu is a physio philosophy that was brought around 60-70 years ago by a very beautiful lady named Mary Baumeister into the Western world. She had spent time in Japan and then brought this healing art to the United States, actually to Arizona. She passed away some time ago, and we all practitioners sort of try to hold the legacy of really bringing the beauty and simplicity of this art into the world. And whenever things go a little bit shaky internally or, even physiologically and health-wise, here's a wonderful opportunity to apply simple self-help steps and also, the hands-on on other people to transform energy, to release tension, to, unblock energy in the body. I don't want to talk too much about Jin-Jin-Jitsu now of what it is, because I really want to go into the secret of balancing emotions, and particularly when we are in relationship, we're on lockdown or in very stressful situations. If you, as many others, are part of essential services of helping others, of talking and communicating lots with others, and the emotions are high and the threshold of what we are able to some sort of take is not very defined, then knowing that there are simple steps to balancing our emotional and mental state is really powerful. Now, in Jin-Jin-Jitsu we say that each of the 5 fingers relates to, plus the palm of your hand, but I want to specifically talk about the 5 fingers, relate to organ meridians. When we look at Chinese medicine and meridian flows, we understand that every organ has a particular relationship to a bigger holistic picture that forms understanding how the body is functioning. Now, the simplicity is, if we just understand that each of these 5 fingers and just holding them and surrounding them and being really gently in touch without pressing, without doing any great, we don't need to massage, we don't need to have even any greater intentions mentally, we just hold. So the thumb, and just holding the thumb, we are balancing spleen and stomach meridian and energy, and ultimately what it takes away is worry. When we worry a lot, when our mental state is like repeating thoughts again and again, when we find we can't digest things that are in our mind, and it's just really uncomfortable in ourselves, because we are, and we might even physically respond to external influences like movement, like car sickness, so holding the thumb and ultimately just staying for a few minutes in this position of holding your thumb can be incredibly calming and comfortable for your system. Now I come to the index finger. The index finger is very powerful because it relates to kidney and bladder as organ flows. And what it really represents is what we call fear. Fear being false evidence appearing real. And would that not be that one thing we would like to raise and eliminate at the moment? That kind of uncertainty, the not knowing, the sudden moments where something comes through and thinks, oh my God, I'm scared this could never end, or something happens to me that I can't really control. And here comes an incredible opportunity to just hold your index finger and being really, really aware that when you just hold this finger for a few minutes, that you release a lot of tension that relates to other organ flows as well, not just kidney and bladder function, but I could go in much more detail. It really just erases fear. And when you have a situation in relationship with others where you feel that you overload others with your fear, or feel fearful in even coming close to others and expressing your needs, then this finger is really, really powerful. Now, the next finger is the middle finger, and we talk about liver and gallbladder, being the organs or organ flows or meridians related to that. The powerful part is that the middle finger is like some sort of a conduit for overall balance. So if you have no idea about whatever happens with this and why this could work and what I'm talking about, then just keep one little trick in mind. If something happens in your relationship and you are triggered and someone is saying something to you that really might be making you feel emotional, might feel even you angry, or makes you feel some sort of really frustrated and uncomfortable, and you're just about to jump and to want to have an argument about it, just step a little back, start holding your middle finger, and be in presence of that person in holding a particular assertive boundary, but holding your middle finger to really find that the equilibrium, the balance in your very own self and in your emotional body is literally, melting to being relaxed, comfortable, and mindful. I think the mindfulness is really important, because if our liver and gallbladder, organ function energy, which relates a lot to our mental states and decision makings and how we react to the world, and also tiredness and exhaustion in our mind and physiology. So this finger is pretty amazing to just hold an equilibrium and energy for as long you can. Now come to the ring finger. The ring finger is pretty special, because the ring finger is where we wear our ring for what we call commitments, the marriage rings, the commitment rings, the friendship rings, the rings we love. It's just the tradition in our ways, whether it's fashion or just an expression of your state of being or state in relationship with someone. This finger relates to the emotion of sadness. Interesting enough, the sadness, relating to a lot of things that we experience in relationship, the loss, the grief, the distance we feel from people. So in these times, it might be really, really interesting to explore that even just holding your ring finger for a little while can take a lot of, underlying emotion that relates to missing someone, or feeling the fear of losing someone, or not having control over the emotional connection with someone. It can really, really harmonize beautifully how you feel. And if you ask me how long to hold each finger, I would say you don't need to have a clock next to you. But there is a gentle awareness. Sometimes you can even feel a little bit of a pulsing in your finger, like an energy, a representation that comes back from, the finger into your other hand when you hold and feel the connection. So it's like it's just some gentle awareness that is coming through. So just wait for that, and then let it flow a little bit. Let it feel as if you make real connection, real relationship with this energy. And then when you feel comfortable and feel, this is doing its job, I go to the next finger, and this is the last one of the 5, which is related to heart and small intestine. And heart is so deeply, an energy that relates so much to what we are experiencing right now, because we are trying so hard. We are trying to make it all happen. We are busy and wanting to, still be in control over everything, and it could even affect our physical heart. And it's not just the heart in the sense of, the heart how it functions, but the heart how it feels, and the heart how it brings emotion into expression. So this little finger can be actually a lifesaver. I had personally 1 or 2 situations where I was very, very, very agonized about a particular internal state that came through physiologically, and it really, really helped me to literally come out of a very, severe current state that I potentially couldn't have had control without knowing that holding or even biting into my little finger in that very moment and putting the energy in and really, really making contact with this finger is helping me to emotionally, and not just emotionally, physiologically, also release tension that takes a lot of pressure away from different parts of your body and your mind and your heart. So the palm is, look at the Namaste, look at prayer positions. In my culture in Germany, when I grew up, I learned to pray in this position, which is naturally that the 2 palms meet. That energy here has a lot to do with relationships. When we actually hold just even the palm like this or like this, balances our internal relationships to everything, our internal relationships to where we come from, to how we relate to the world, to how our whole our world of relationship and relationship matrix is actually designed. So it's something so incredible simple, and I'm often asked, and for years I practiced this as my main profession. This was my wonderful, in my late 20s and into my 30s, after leaving the film industry in New Zealand. I practiced Jitsu for many, many years and taught it here and expanded, that arrival of this healing art in New Zealand and Australia very, very proactively. So I want to just inspire you. If this is something you have more questions about, I'm sure if you Google Jinjitsu, JINSHINJYUTSU, then you will find some information online. I think there are lots of practitioners by now who have online information, but I think in these times of really trying to balance relationships and being, in empowerment and having our emotions, at least in this way, under control or be in charge, that we find, if I'm feeling a particular way, I can just hold any of these fingers. And if you want to give yourself a little self-rub routine, and you sit maybe watching Netflix or listening to music, or even while you're meditating, quite frankly, while you're meditating, you could have every 3 to 5 minutes change of holding, 1, 2, 3, 3 minutes here, 3 minutes here. So make it a little ritual. Doesn't matter which side of your body you start. Usually you say left is a good starting point, but follow your intuition. And sometimes you can even just sit there and say, I'm feeling an emotion. Which is the finger I want to really, really hold now? Where do I feel intuitively I want to go? And then you just arrive there. And that's the finger I just went to, which is my right index finger. And guess what? I don't know what underlying fear or tension I might feel right now, but this is what I was called to just make available to myself. Isn't that a beautiful art of self-care and self-healing and self-empowerment, when we know that these simple tools can be available to us? So have a happy quantum quarantine experience with this, and I hope this becomes a tool you apply more frequently. And if you have any questions, email me via my website. Down below on the description box is a link to all the details you can receive, even as it might be you want to have a discovery session with me, maybe even about Jitsu as well. Book it please online and see how it all relates to your current state of being. Maybe I become your personal essential service in this really, really important time of transformation for all of us, and the healing that is hopefully happening for the entire planet very, very soon. Namaste, and wishing you all the best. With love from New Zealand, your quantum love coach, Adriane Hartigan von Strauch. Namaste.